I want to preface this video by saying that I've had a lot of fun in my time playing Ark. Ark is an amazing game. It is a huge open world, sprawling, massive survival game. And many of us have put thousands and thousands of hours into this game. So this video is made out of love and support for the game because I want what's best for Ark. And that's what we all want. When the community gets up in arms and it seems like they're hating on the developers, it's because we want what's best for the game. And oftentimes the developers are not giving us what's best for Ark. My question is, whose fault is it if you leave chocolate out and a child eats it? Obviously, it's not the child's fault, because you as a responsible adult should know not to leave it out. Now, let's talk about Ark, and whose fault it is if you leave broken mechanics and exploits in your game. It's not the children's fault who play the game. Yes, we are children, most of us. But it's your fault for leaving the broken mechanics in the game and oversighting them. This brings us to many issues, and the first and obvious one we'll start with is the current banning of tribes who built in the surface zone on Aberration. Nowhere in game does it say that this is a no-build zone. It simply has fire in the day that destroys structures and players. Nowhere does it give a visual warning or an explicit warning that states, don't build up here. It simply has the fire, and you understand. This isn't a safe place. But some players found that you could build above it, and it doesn't kill you or the structure, so they built there, not knowing it was against the terms of service, not knowing that it was clearly against the rules, because it didn't seem that way. It was out in the open, it wasn't under the mesh, so it really wasn't abundantly clear that this was an issue. But the devs decided to dev wipe the whole tribes of everyone who built there. Now, one member of the tribes was a player called GetJacked. If you're watching this video, you know who GetJacked is. He's a huge supporter of Ark. He's played 10,000 hours, I think I saw recently. And he supported the game through thick and thin with a very positive attitude. Their tribe was not told to move or that the area was against the terms of service. They were simply dev wiped, and that was that. Is this spot not a chocolate bar left out by the devs? Because I think it is. A chocolate bar I think the devs were aware of, as previously teleporters weren't allowed to be built on Aberration, obviously for these sort of reasons. The devs probably had foresight that people would do what they did. Find some tricky spots to build and teleport there. Because teleporters obviously nullify the risk of travelling to these spots, make them mostly invulnerable to raiding. So why then would the devs not fix this issue? Why would they ban the players for their oversight, rather than making the fire burn all the way up to the top and destroying the structures with an in-game mechanic, or simply giving them warning in advance? These would seem like the logical responses to this situation, but instead, the devs ban the child for eating the chocolate. They're not owning their own mistakes, they're not taking responsibility for these mistakes. In Jack's video, he states further that they built in this spot to get away from meshes. Now this second part of the discussion is regarding meshing, which is also happening to myself and my tribe on official Ark servers. What is meshing? If you don't know and you're not aware, meshing is a process where someone gets under the map and they can attack your base unfairly as it ignores your base defense. So they were trying to get away from that and the devs banned them. It seems very illogical and hugely unfair, just not a logical response to the situation. So the second part of this video, I'm going to get into the meshing. I'm going to show you guys how to mesh, not in multiplayer, not on my official server, but it needs to be made public, the process of meshing, and the devs need to just simply take out the climbing picks out of the game, as you guys will see, and I'll talk about after this. I'll quickly show you guys the process. The credit obviously goes to a guy called Flex. I'll leave a link to his video, who shows all the meshing methods in Ark. Okay, so first let me foreshadow that this is on single player. Obviously I'm freezing the server here. I've got admin commands. This is not on an official live server, but I have no buffs on. I'll turn fly off there. So this is no buffs. We're not on ghost mode or anything like that, obviously. But as you can see here, and if you watch Flex's video, all you need to do is come up to this spot here. Like, I'm in the mesh, literally already, in the mesh. All you need to do is go into a spot with double mesh, with a mesh behind the mesh. That seems like poor game design, doesn't it? And press left click on your climbing pick. And now we're in the mesh. Now this spot here in the mesh, obviously I can't do a huge amount of damage. But if we come down here, Oh, and we are up. We're in the mesh, okay. So second try, second attempt, and I'm fully in the mesh here. And I've never meshed before, like this is how easy this is. Now let's see how far we can actually get in here. I don't even want to know. This is obviously... Yep, so this is where our turret tower was. We had a turret tower right here in our cave. So if you guys need any more proof that our cave was meshed, well here it's clear as day. Clear as day. And if you want proof that this is under the mesh, well that's your proof there. From here I could probably jump down into that water and make a raft as well. So I can make a respawn point, no doubt. I might actually test that afterwards. So, I don't know if that's as far as you can get. Obviously, that deals with some pretty good defenses being there. But I'm sure we can get even further in here. Let's find out. I think I might have to move bases, to be honest. Oh no, I think this is where my other turret tower is. Oh. Am I out of the mesh now? Oh no, I'm further in the mesh. Okay. Now we're like above. This is actually close to where my other turret towers are. So we can't go further that way because there's no double structures. Like, why is the map designed like this in the first place? That's what I don't understand. Either way, you guys see my point. It's way too easy to do this. Just take out the climbing pick from the game. Take out partial use for the grapple hook. Make it so you can't swing from it. I don't know. Just like, oh, the game's gonna help me get out of here, is it? Oh, thanks, game. You made my meshing much easier. Thanks, wildcard. And now I'm out of the mesh. So... See, my problem is that wildcard is blaming the players when they should be fixing the problems themselves and not leaving the chocolate out. Put it in the cupboard. Fix the mistakes, fix the issues. Start by getting rid of climbing picks and official PvP servers. That's a simple no-brainer. Simply take them out of the game. There's no way you can't do that. And the player base is not going to care. The player base is not going to get mad about you fixing the game, trying to prevent meshing. The more backlash you get is from leaving these issues in the game and then dev wiping players for using them. So get rid of them. Simply get rid of the climbing picks. Change how grapple hooks work. And this will get rid of half the meshing issues. If you guys agree with what I've said in this video and believe Get Jack should be at least reimbursed, share this video around, show some support. Let's make sure the devs hear it, that we're not happy with what they're doing to their game. We love the game and we want the best for the game, and what they're currently doing to the game is not, it's not raising a good kid. That kid is eating chocolate and getting fat all day, and then wildcards coming along and smacking it. But whose fault is it? It's not the kid's fault. Also, I did just make a petition. If you guys could sign it, it would be amazing. The petition is called Get Rid of the Climbing Pick. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense. If you guys watch the video, you understand why it needs to be done. Get rid of it, bring it back in when it works, bring it back in when it's fixed. If you guys agree with it, please go sign the petition, show your support, and we'll hopefully get some change to the game that we love. Catch you guys in the next one.